exporting generated AYMultiCharacter. So I generated this character using AYMultiCharacter mail, and I wish to export the animation on this character. So to add animation, I'll quickly go to the animation tab and just add an idle animation for it. So my intention is to export the FBX for this. Now with AYMultiCharacter, there are different ways to export. You can export as a blend file, you can export as an OBJ file, you can export as a Python script, you can also export as FBX, and I'm going to show you how to do so in this video. So let's go to the utility and you'll see export visible. I'm just going to collapse that to have more options for export. Now under the export visible objects too, I have the option to change whatever format I want to export my character with. So when you go to Blender, that exports as a .blend file, and you can also bake and pack textures before you export if you want to do so. And the second way to do it is going with the OBJ. You can export as OBJ as well by just changing that option. You can export as Python script. The advantage of Python script is it helps you save file size. When you save as a Python script, it's going to save in KBs, but when you save as an actual Blender file, the file size of the character can be large sometimes, depending on how complex your character is looking. So when you have a Python script, all you need to do is just run the script and it's going to work fine by generating the character for you. And the last one I have here that I've not talked about is the FBX. So I'm just going to click on FBX. And with the FBX option, there are three important things that can be exported with the FBX. So if you have AYMultiCharacter starter kit, you can only export the character mesh. But if you have the standard kit, you can export the character mesh and the rig. And this rig would be game ready. So you can export that and import it into any game engine like Unreal Engine, Unity, and so on and so forth. So, but if you have the complete kit, you have access to export the mesh of the character, the rig of the character, and also the animation. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I want to include rig, and I want to bake and add animation. I can also bake texture if I want to, but I'm not going to bake texture for the purpose of this video. Now by default, you can see that I have my start frame and my end frame according to the animation currently on my character. If I wish to make this animation shorter, I can reduce the value. And if I wish to make the range bigger, I can also increase the value. But I'm going to go with the default and hit on the export button. Now here, I'm just going to define where I want the exports to be. So I'll quickly go to AYMultiCharacter, and I'm just going to have it here. So export. I'm going to export as a test car. That's test character. So export. And I'm going to wait for a few seconds. Now, depending on the strength of your PC again, this can go very fast or very slow. So mine is done, and I'm just going to create a new scene. Delete the cube as usual, and I want to import my FBX. So I'm just going to go to the directory where my FBX was saved. That's AYMultiCharacter, and here is it here, character, test character. So for the option, for the import option, I want to ignore leave bones, automatic bone orientation, and I think that's all. So I'm just going to import FBX, and here is my character. So when I hit on the play button, you can see the animation comes along with it, and you can also see that the rig is the game ready type rig. So the Rigify rig had been converted to a game ready rig that can be used in Unreal Engine, Unity, or any other game engine you have. would like to go back to this view, or better still, just go to the layout for you to see. Okay, so this is the character, and this is the animation. So